I don't really know what to say. Filipinos are really amazing. I have to say, I have not met another. I have yet to cross paths with another nationality that's so.
The numbers on the screen were staggering. Cincinnati Open ticket prices had skyrocketed overnight. The thousands of seats that had been available just hours earlier were gone. The secondary market was in chaos. And at the center of it all was a 21-year-old Filipina who was rewriting every rule about what it means to be a star in women's tennis. Alexandra Eala had been assigned an outside court early in the week. Ticket demand surged. By match day, the venue was standing room only. By the next round, she'd been moved to one of the show courts. Tournament organizers who had planned for a routine event were scrambling to accommodate a phenomenon they had never seen before. Tennis Canada moved her match to the 10,000-seat center court. It sold out too, a feat only Serena Williams had managed on a Wednesday night there in the past 2 decades. The comparison is not lost on anyone. A player who was once ranked outside the top 700 is now selling out stadiums that only legends filled. Eala is now the 17th seed at the Cincinnati Open, the highest seeding of her career. She has earned a first-round bye. She is no longer begging for wild cards or scrapping through qualifiers. She is now the star that every tournament wants. What is the Eala Effect? And why are fans willing to pay thousands of dollars just to watch her play? The ticket prices were the first clue that something unprecedented was happening. When Eala's matches were scheduled on outside courts, demand skyrocketed. Thousands of tickets moved in minutes. Secondary market prices soared to levels usually reserved for Grand Slam finals. But this was just a WTA 1000 tournament, and the player driving the frenzy was not the world number one. She was not a Grand Slam champion. She was a 21-year-old who had just cracked the top 20. Yet the numbers told a story that defied conventional tennis logic. Her pre-tournament press conference in Australia drew over 171,000 views. Aryna Sabalenka's drew 9,000. On the WTA's YouTube and Facebook channels, Eala's videos consistently outperformed those of higher-ranked players. Clips of her matches regularly had twice the views of other top 10 players. Tournament directors began to notice the pattern. In Toronto, Eala's opener against Alicia Parks sold out in about 30 minutes. Roughly 3,100 tickets moved for that single evening once the draw went public. Demand got so out of hand that organizers moved her match entirely. The grandstand court only holds 2,800, and Eala had likely already sold upwards of 5,000 tickets for that slot. She got bumped to the 10,000-seat center court, which sold out too, a feat only Serena Williams had managed on a Wednesday night there in the past 2 decades. The Eala Effect was not just about tennis. It was about a movement. The Filipino diaspora, millions strong across North America and around the world, had embraced her as their champion. Wherever she played, the stands were filled with red, white, and blue flags. Food vendors added Filipino cuisine to their menus. Security was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of fans. Eala was not just a tennis player. She was a cultural gathering. "I love the people," Eala had said of New York and the U.S. Open fans. "It's a great atmosphere, super exciting, and it's different from all the other slams." The tournament directors had never seen anything like it. Mubadala DC and National Bank Open organizers even bared that they have never experienced a sellout like this before. The last time a National Bank Open sold out, an opening Wednesday, was 2 decades ago, courtesy of Serena Williams. The business of women's tennis is being rewritten. According to former pros, Eala is now the biggest draw in women's tennis, bigger than Coco Gauff, bigger than Aryna Sabalenka. Sam Querrey and Steve Johnson debated the phenomenon on their podcast. "She's the biggest draw in women's tennis right now," Querrey declared. "Bigger than Sabalenka, bigger than Coco Gauff, bigger than everyone." Johnson went further, declaring that Eala was bigger than anyone on the women's side right now. The comparison isn't about results. It's about pull. In women's tennis, stardom has traditionally followed trophies and Grand Slam tallies. Eala is breaking that order. She is not yet a slam champion, not yet a top 10 fixture, and not yet the most decorated player on tour. Yet wherever she plays, the stands fill first for her matches. Noise levels spike. Camera lenses swing her way. Tournament schedules quietly adjust. Much of it traces back to a long underestimated market. The Philippines has never had a women's tennis star operating at this level, and the response has been seismic. Filipino communities abroad turn Eala's matches into cultural gatherings, while fans back home drive massive digital engagement across platforms. The commercial implications are staggering. The Philippines is a massive market, and Eala's popularity is driving significant commercial growth. Endorsement deals are multiplying. Media appearances are increasing. The demand for Eala merchandise is skyrocketing. For tournament organizers, Eala's presence now comes with something just as valuable as points: guaranteed buzz. She now draws center court energy without center court seniority. The reality inevitably invites comparisons, questions, and perhaps quiet envy within the locker room. But as one analyst noted, that too is a sign of arrival. You don't disrupt hierarchies unless you matter. The Eala effect did not happen overnight. It was built on years of sacrifice, struggle, and relentless determination. From cracked courts in Quezon City to the biggest stages in tennis, Eala's journey has defied every expectation. She left her home in the Philippines at just 12 years old to train at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Spain. She worked tirelessly to improve her game, knowing that the path to the top would be unforgiving. She won the U.S. Open girls singles title in 2022, a moment that captured the imagination of her nation. Manny Pacquiao, the legendary Filipino boxer, led the cheering section. "A nation of over 100 million people takes pride in your accomplishment," he wrote on social media. She took his words to heart. She kept working. She kept improving. She kept representing her country with pride. Eala's breakthrough came at the Miami Open in 2025, where she reached the semifinals as a world number 140. That run changed everything. It showed the world that she could compete with the best. It showed her fans that their belief was justified. It showed tournament directors that she was a star in the making. That run in Miami really changed everything for her, former world number 1 Lindsay Davenport said. At the 2025 U.S. Open, ranked number 75, Eala completed an epic comeback to become the first Filipino man or woman to win a Grand Slam main draw match in the Open era. "I'm so blessed to be the first to do this," she said. "I take so much pride in representing my country. It makes what I do bigger than myself, and it adds meaning to what I do." Her advice to her supporters was simple: dream big. Now ranked 20th in the world, Eala does not need to scrounge for main draw slots in top-level WTA tournaments. She gets first-round buys now, a privilege accorded to high-ranked players. She comes to events as a legitimate force, and she brings with her the hopes and dreams of millions. Cincinnati is the next stage for the Eala effect. Eala is seeded 17th at the Cincinnati Open, the highest seeding of her career. She earned a first-round bye, giving her additional time to rest and recover before her next match. She will face either Magda Linette of Poland or Elena Gabriela Ruse of Romania in the third round. The match is scheduled for Friday or Saturday, and ticket demand is already unprecedented. The tournament organizers are preparing for a sellout crowd. The Filipino community in Ohio is expected to rally behind Eala once more. "It's an amazing experience," Eala said. "It's nice to see that the Filipino community is really showing up and enjoying tennis. Hopefully, it will help grow the sport as well and, in the end, give them something new and joyful experience." She also expressed her gratitude to her fans back home. "Maraming salamat sa mga kababayan natin sa lahat ng ginawa niyo mula sa Washington hanggang Toronto. At sa lahat ng gagawin niyo pa. Parati kayong sumusuporta at nagdarasal. Parati kayong nagpupuyat kaya tuloy-tuloy lang akong magtatrabaho para sa inyo." The U.S. Open, the final Grand Slam of the season, looms on the horizon. Eala will be one of the biggest attractions at this year's tournament. In addition to competing in women's singles and mixed doubles with Felix Auger-Aliassime, Eala will also appear at Stars of the Open during U.S. Open Fan Week. She will join her good friend Iva Jovic, Brazil's João Fonseca, and American Lerner Tien in Arthur Ashe Stadium for some friendly competition under the lights. The Eala effect shows no signs of slowing down, and the tennis world is still trying to understand what it means. The Alex Eala phenomenon is not just a moment. It is becoming a movement. She is redefining what it means to be a star in women's tennis. In a sport where trophies traditionally dictate status, Eala's influence operates on a different axis. She has changed the economics of attention itself. Tournament organizers, sponsors, and broadcasters have all been forced to recalibrate their understanding of the relationship between performance and popularity. Eala's impact extends far beyond the tennis court. She is the symbol of Filipino pride, the embodiment of resilience, the proof that champions can come from anywhere. The legacy she is building is not just about her own achievements. It is about what her achievements represent. She has shown millions of young Filipinos that they can dream big and achieve the impossible. She has shown the world that a developing tennis nation can produce a global superstar. "You are the star. I'm just watching," a fan once called out to her. Eala smiled and continued practicing. The fan had put into words what millions were feeling. Eala is not just a player. She is a phenomenon, a movement, a symbol of hope and resilience for millions of people around the world. But Eala's rise is not built on novelty alone. She plays a modern, assertive game, competes without deference, and has collected statement wins along the way. The performances validate the attention, ensuring that interest doesn't fade once the crowd noise settles. That combination of credibility and charisma is what makes her different. Tennis has seen popular players before, but rarely one whose popularity expands faster than her ranking. What happens next will determine whether the Eala Effect becomes a permanent fixture in tennis or a passing phenomenon. Her team knows the roadmap is unforgiving. Stronger serves, greater stamina, and the physical durability required to survive deep runs week after week. But the commercial and cultural groundwork is already laid. The world has already fallen in love with her. And ticket prices in Cincinnati are proof that this love is real. Eala K in PE line at High, etc.